Yeah.
Yeah, 5.
Nothing.
5, 6.
It was a clap, but didn't have the sound of a clap.
You didn't put any energy into it.
I didn't.
Yeah. It's not a heartfelt clap.
It might not be a heartfelt episode.
It might not. Yeah.
We're just doing this for consistency's sake. This episode. My heart's not in the game this
is
week.
Filler. This is a filler.
Yeah, this is a filler, right.
Yeah.
Just, what the fuck?
You're fucking...
The trash can, maybe another roach.
Yeah.
We got more roaches.
Roach. Yeah, it's fucking strong
it's
roach.
fucking strong roach.
Yeah,
Dude, you fucking slammed I slapped it. I broke the broom.
What, killing this roach?
Yeah, killing the roach.
Yeah, and he was like, not this time.
Still alive.
It's still alive.
And I broke a broom over its fucking exoskeleton.
I mean, I think just the fact that they have an exoskeleton is like, we should just call it quits. Just give it to the roaches.
Do you think that
it's just way cooler?
They built the exoskeleton because they were getting hit by brooms?
Yeah, that's exactly it. It was, that's definitely adaptation, physical adaptation to a broom. And I think it's also funny that like there's only 2 versions of like an exoskeleton that we know, which is like the robots lifting up boxes, like the people in the robot suits, and roaches.
And roaches.
Yeah. I'm surprised we don't have like a roach looking exoskeleton that's being developed.
A roach is the original robots.
Boom. You heard it here first.
There we go. That's the new QAnon.
Prove otherwise.
Tell me.
Yeah, prove that they're not robots. I don't think you can. I don't think you can do it. NASA. I don't think you can do it, NASA. Space robots.
There you go.
Hey.
Hello.
It's just so rare for us to be like, and here we are. Yes, welcome back to the Happy Hour podcast.
No, you know why you're here.
Yeah, you know
what's going on.
You know what this is. Yeah, you're here.
Fucking hungover.
Yeah, you're here for a half-ass podcast today.
We are mailing it in.
Yeah, it's almost 8 p.m. on a Saturday.
Yeah.
And Rich was like, yeah, that's the kind of vibe I want to kick off this podcast episode with.
Well, I wanted to do it Thursday. You were busy.
Yeah.
What did you do Thursday?
I met up with my buddy just moved, friend just moved back from San Fran.
You moved back from San Fran?
Yeah, was working at Facebook.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Greenspan.
Yeah, shout out Greenspan.
Greenspan.
She moved back, and so we were getting drinks, got fucking wasted at a bar down the street. They were doing takeout cocktails, so you had to, but we were indoors.
They're doing takeout cocktails, but you were indoors.
Yeah, it was the weirdest thing. So we had this massive indoor space, and only like 3 tables available. Whatever percentage.
This is in Brooklyn.
This is Brooklyn.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a huge space. You go out. You have to go outside to order. You have to go outside. You have to walk around because there's all this outdoor seating and it was booked up. You had to walk to this window, order with the lady. The lady then put it on your tab, and then you took the cocktails, walked around back into this indoor space, and then sat down and had your cocktails. So every time you wanted around, you had to walk outside, go outside to a window, grab it, come back in, and drink, even though you could just walk through a doorway right to a bar area.
But what you don't understand is that's how you get COVID.
Is by walking through doorways.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Indoor
that's
doorways.
Why they're doing it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's a war on doorways.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's what Cuomo's really, that's what this is all really about.
Yeah, he has a big doorway phobia.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is my way out.
Yeah. He lives in a mansion that's just one giant studio space. There's no doorways. It's only one.
It's a
one
loft.
giant. It's one giant open space. Yes.
Cuomo's like that, like a puppy you see on TikTok that like doesn't want to go over.
Yeah.
The door frame.
Yeah. It's one massive. All the walls are down, and you could just clearly see where his bedroom to the kitchen to the living room are all set up as you walk in.
It actually was a house. He knocked down all the walls.
Yes,
it was a regular house.
That's right.
Cuomo also hates stairs.
He hates stairs.
Hates doors and stairs.
Yeah, he's got trampolines to get up to a second floor, up and down from a second floor.
One of those slam ball courts.
Yeah.
Cuomo's whole house.
Yeah. I mean, shout out slam ball. Let's bring back slam ball.
Slam ball was sick.
Yeah, I mean, on paper, the funniest thing to ever happen to sports.
The best thing that
ever happened to sports. And then I think the removal of setting up slam ball courts across the nation, was the biggest detriment to our nation's infrastructure. I think all public parks should have a slant ball court.
I think so.
Yeah. And yeah, I think that it's also, we should have been using trampolines to get rid of stairs.
That's been a thing before slant ball.
Bounce up, and then when you have to come down, you bounce. Have you seen those videos of like the people who like have like 3-story platforms and then they jump down into trampolines and then they bounce back up?
Yeah. One of those like at gymnast gyms.
Yeah, like you're on the 28th floor of this building. I'd like to use a trampoline to get up here, is all that I'm saying.
That's where we're
Drop 28 floors, just bounce.
You would die.
Yeah.
I don't think you could do that. I don't think there's a trampoline with enough cushion that would allow that.
I do that thing where like you'd fall the whole way down, and then when you hit it, you like hit it with your feet wrong, and then your knees just buckle. That would be the worst that would happen.
All your bones fall out of you.
Yeah, so I met up with my friend, and then that was great. And then Friday, went out with some coworkers to celebrate St. Patrick's Day.
Oh.
And got a little, surprisingly not as wasted as I thought I would, drinking for 8 hours.
I noticed you were First of all, you sent me an Instagram video DM. That's where I was like, this kid is gone.
Oh, no.
Who
Actually,
sends Instagram video DMs?
It was because I was like, okay, well, that guy, this should be the whole episode is about this guy. He was truly, this was the first bar. I was waiting for everybody to get there. So I was on my first drink, right? Barely even a sip in.
Okay.
Just seeing the people walking up and down, sitting outside of this bar.
Where were you?
East Village. I was at the Spotted Owl.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like right around the corner from the new Target up on 14th.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting out there, everybody walking past. Immediately, I'm like, New York's back, baby. Like, people are like back out.
It was gorgeous out.
It was gorgeous out.
Gorgeous.
The perfect day. I biked from Brooklyn to Manhattan. Like,
You're feeling yourself.
Here's how much I was feeling myself. I unironically started blasting Bob Marley in my headphones to bike from Brooklyn into Manhattan.
Yeah, you're a real fucking Brooklyn
that
kid.
That was the mood I was setting for myself, was unironically like listening to Bob Marley, singing along like I had any business associating myself with those lyrics of Bob Marley.
Yeah.
Like I understand the suffering of Bob Marley in Jamaica and all that, and it's like,
You're just on a city bike. We're jamming!
yeah, I want to jam in with you.
Hey! Nice pin, buddy. You too, pal. We're jamming.
Yeah, I got my headphones in. I got one hand on my city bike, the other hand on an iced Americano. Like I'm ready. I'm ready for some Bob Marley. That's so I get there and so like, you got all the East Villagers going left, right. Everybody's got someplace to be. Everybody's coming from the park. And then you just catch the waves of the freaks coming back.
Yeah, people don't talk about the freaks.
I mean, it goes without saying.
It comes with the city.
The freaks of Manhattan, yes.
Yes.
But, the thing about this guy was that everything would obviously suggest homeless guy, right? Because he's got backpack that's bulgy, as if he's living out of this backpack.
Right.
There's a lot going on there.
Skateboard.
He's got a giant 7-Eleven Big Gulp.
I noticed that.
Almost finished.
Yes.
And he's stumbling around like he's had a fifth of vodka.
And it was what was left in that Big Gulp was the yellowest liquid
I've
ever
liquid.
Seen.
Yes, like the camera could not pick up the correct hue of how yellow that was.
No.
You only got like a fraction of what that was. And the thing that threw me off about this guy was he had like Bose wireless headphones. Like,
so he had
nice.
He had money. He at one point had $300.
It threw me through the biggest loop of my life because I'm looking at him and going, everything would suggest that you don't have an address currently.
Right.
But then he pops out these nice wireless headphones and then just like throws them on, and then he puts on music, and then it's immediately it's like heavy metal that's coming out of the speakers of his phone, because he thinks that it's coming out of his headphone.
Right. He's hammered.
Yeah. So then he's like flip. And then he gets it on, and I'm just like, man, this is okay. What's going, And I've got like a big empty area because we like basically reserved a whole booth outside. And then he comes over to me, and he's like, hey man, do you mind if I like sit here for a second? Like
Oh, he said that. He came up to you.
Yeah, he came up to me. He didn't know I took the video of him.
Oh, he did.
Which was good.
Yeah.
That would be that. I would have to allow him to sit there. Be like, hey man, I'm sorry I took that video of you. Yeah, sit down. But it was very much if I had said yes, I knew I saw the future. He
was staying.
It's the Uber driver. I learned my lesson. I was like, I got a big group of people coming. Everybody's about to get here. We reserved the area. And he's like, oh man, do you mind if I just sit here for like 5 minutes? And I was literally just like, looked at him. I looked at him, and then I couldn't argue from like a human perspective of like, yeah, man, you want to sit here? I literally just went, yeah, man, 5 minutes. And then like, I just went right to my phone. I was like, we're not having a conversation.
No.
You want to sit there and rest your fucking knees for a second? Sure. And then he was like, oh, I could see it's a problem. And then walked away. I was like, that's pretty good. Thanks, man.
Very odd. Are they self-aware?
Yes.
The crazies.
Very, yes. And apparently the owner came by and was like, yeah, so the homeless are just using these booths to sleep in.
Yeah.
And so like every morning this guy like shows up and has to like shush him out to be like, you gotta go.
You gotta be homeless
somewhere else.
This isn't your home.
Yeah.
You are homeless.
It is possible that he was like, hey man, do you mind if I hang out in the place where I slept last night?
You were actually infringing.
Yeah. He's like, do you mind if I like get my space back for like
You're in my living room
for like 5 minutes?
He's like, take your shoes off.
Yeah.
In my living room.
Oh, I see you moved my bar stool over there. I actually set it up here on purpose as the feng shui of my little nook. So you mind if I just get 5 minutes to reorient myself? I just need to figure out what I need to bring back for tonight. And
right. He also looked older. He looked like an old 19-year-old.
And he kept taking phone calls.
Well, he's a businessman.
It's so many contradicting things going on here. Everything would suggest homeless guy, but he clearly has a network of people who he can call on and have a conversation with. And he's drinking out of a Mountain Dew can, but has really nice headphones. And wants to get involved in you, but has the awareness of respecting your boundaries. Who is this guy? Who is he? Where does he come from? Now I want to know everything.
I think he just bought those Bose earphones to write it off his taxes.
That's it.
He was like, it's a business expense.
Yeah, and he had one of those. He did have one of those black American flag patches. Yeah. I can't tell what's one without like the blue stripe or the red stripe. Is it supposed to be just military?
I think it's all the same concept.
Well, it's like red lives for firemen. The red stripe is for firemen, right? It's like it's all black and white.
I thought it was military police. I think it's all the same. I think blue is just police, but red is police and military. I don't know.
I thought it was firefighters.
Call us in.
Yeah, call hotline. Hotline's open.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then we got wasted, but like not even that wasted. Like it was just like we just walked around, doing shots, doing beers, catching up with everybody. It felt normal. It felt normal-ish.
The weather's back.
We got to sit inside for a little bit,
which is nice.
Yeah, and then I got home before midnight because everything shut down.
Right, which is that's good.
Yeah,
that should be what we've
nice.
always done.
They should do a soft closing for people where it's like after this when they keep bars open till 3 a.m. They should go around to be like, hey, last call. For like anybody who's trying to get home before midnight.
Yeah, anyone that wants to do something tomorrow, it's last call.
Yeah, they should. They should have bars should have a social responsibility. Just be like, hey, listen, 11 o'clock, just a heads up. You should probably all go home.
That's the 7th inning stretch of bars.
Right.
That's what it should be.
Yes.
11:55 hits.
Yes.
You just put the lights on for 5 minutes.
Yes.
And then whoever's left,
and it should
lights
be
back off.
just like every sporting event. Everybody wants to beat the traffic, so they leave before the end of the game.
That's right. Exactly. It's the same concept.
It's the
and
same
then everyone
concept.
sings Sweet Caroline.
Yes, everybody say you put on Sweet Caroline. That's when you know it's all right. It's time to take a walk. And then as you're leaving the bar, you can hear what's going on in the bar to be like, okay, all right. Or you turn on your radio and you can be like, oh, okay, all right. I caught the tail end. It's fine. We didn't miss much.
We're on to something here. We have a business model now.
We do have a business model. Yeah. And then outside of that, Shard, have we talked about this Survivor kick that we've been on since the last time I was on the show?
I think you brought up you've been watching Survivor.
My
parents have been watching Survivor since.
Ooh, I get it. Now I get it. I never watched it. I never for years. And Hulu has 18 seasons of Survivor currently.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of
content.
Not a little. It is like, so they have from season 15 to like now. So
right.
So it's like, yeah. So it's like 18, 19 seasons. And for the last 2 weeks, Shar has been like, wake up, turn it on.
Yes.
She's done a season a day.
A season a day?
I promise you, if you
That's over 24 hours.
No.
Did she create hours?
No, the seasons are surprisingly not that long. They're like 10 episode seasons.
Really?
Yeah.
Hour each.
Usually the finale of the story. So a lot of times what will happen is like the night before, she'll be like halfway through, 3/4 of the way through, and I'll like see who's in like the finals, or like I'll follow along for like a challenge. And they always do the family visits at the end of the season.
Yes.
Ooh. In quarantine, those hit different. Those hit completely different. The idea of like you've been isolated as a group of people and trying to survive socially, mentally, physically.
Right.
And then all of a sudden you get to see and hug your loved ones. It's just kind of like, I'm like, oh, okay.
Let's calm down on comparing your quarantine.
Just from
to
that one element of like not seeing somebody for an extended period of time and then seeing them and being like, I get it now. I think at the time I was like, all right, it's 20 days, relax, like chill out. Now I'm like, okay, I can see why people get emotional when those episodes pop off.
Now, here's a question for you.
Okay.
Who would you run faster to hug? Your mother?
Yeah.
Or your coworkers?
Ooh. Or a pool table.
Or a pool table.
Yeah, Jeff Probst is like, listen, Taylor, day 39.
That would be your reward challenge.
Yeah. Day 39. We brought someone real special for you. Here is a full-size billiards table. Oh my God.
Here's the bartender from New Amsterdam.
I have missed you so much. Yeah.
And they just do a solo shot of the interview shot with the pool table. And
yeah,
haven't seen Taylor in 40 days.
He's lost so much weight. God.
I don't like the beard, but he could keep it for a little bit.
He could keep the beard. Yeah, boy. He's given his heart and soul to this game.
Right.
Just truly, the game itself, it's Mario Party the reality show, first of all.
Yeah.
There's
That's a good comparison.
So many elements of it that I'm just like, how has Nintendo not tapped into this when releasing their next game to just be like, just do like one mini game that's like themed like Nintendo or Mario or whatever. And you're going to love this. Okay. There was an episode where so there's like the immunity challenge. That's fine. That's whatever. Yes. And then there's the reward challenge.
Yes.
And most of the rewards are like spa day, barbecue. Yep. This was like 2010. It was like a 2010-11 season. And the reward challenge was the winning team gets to go to a movie theater for a exclusive screening of Adam Sandler's Jack and Jill.
Oh my God. What? That's more suffering. Leave me on the fucking island I'll eat an iguana. Instead of seeing Jack and Jill.
It was it was just truly my head. I was like my back to the table. I swear to God, my head spun around twice and then went behind me to be like, did he just say Jack and Jill?
Yeah.
Oh my God. And the funniest thing was like, when they showed the episode, it was like they were showing clips of Jack and Jill.
Oh my God.
And then they were showing the reaction from the people who had won the challenge of like laughing along. And like they were cutting to like clearly the people who were just so mentally unaware, so exhausted, mentally, physically drained to be like, I thought it was a pretty good movie. I'm a big Adam Sandler fan, so this is right up my alley. And it's just, they look back on that and they're like, I was so dehydrated.
That would be a good,
I hallucinated the whole movie.
It's a good critic review. They put it on the commercial. It's like, after living on an island in isolation for 40 days, I thought this was a 3.5 out of 5 stars.
I would love nothing more than to like have like some behind the scenes where like most of the people walk out and they're like, I have not eaten in 12 days. That movie sucked.
I didn't even pay attention to the movie. I was eating the popcorn. Yeah. I don't know if you know, I haven't eaten in 30 days.
Yeah. They cut out the part where they start the sentence with the popcorn and food was really, really good, and they just said it was really, really good. ... Yeah. So Survivor has just been like, man, the seasons just goes down. So I could not watch it week to week.
They go down smooth.
Like so, like it is easily become my favorite reality TV show.
Really?
Easily. I won't watch it week to week. I cannot.
I mean, it's a lot.
I'm just saying, like, I couldn't follow it.
Oh, you're saying you wouldn't watch it every Tuesday at 8?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I could see if I had found this 10 years ago or when I was in high school or whatever. Yeah, I could definitely do that. But just so many, like, the social game of it all, the physical, the mental. I kind of always thought of it as like the Bear Grylls reality show where it's like they wanted to see how audacious they could be as survivors. Like, who's willing to drink their piss on camera? You know what I mean? But it's like so much of that show writes itself, edits itself.
Right.
And Jeff Probst is just like cashing the fattest checks in the world.
Living in mansions on these beaches.
Like, he like bumps into Oprah and it's just like, you and me. You know what I mean? Like you and me, we got TV down. We figured it out. He makes so much goddamn money off that show.
But the thing with Oprah is she actually interviews people. Well, she is, to a degree, a journalist.
Yes. But
Jeff Probst is like, hey, how you doing? I slept in a bed last night when you were on a beach, you dumb fucks.
Oh, I will argue against that because yes, in the early seasons, for sure, he's very much just a mouthpiece to be like, here is your challenge. But you can tell in the later seasons, at least up until now, he must have gotten like a psychology degree or intense psychological training or whatever because
he kind of pushes the buttons.
All he does is instigate shit, but not in a way that affects he's like the world's best cult leader. He's truly like does not want anything from these people, but they love Jeff Probst.
Yeah.
Everybody who goes on that show is like, I'm seeing Jeff Probst. This is the best moment of my life. If he told me to assassinate a congressman, I would. Yeah. You know? It's very eerie, the cult of Survivor.
The cult of Probst.
Nobody goes onto the show not understanding every single minute detail of Survivor.
You're usually like super fans if you're doing Survivor.
That's the weirdest thing to me. Because it's like there's so many reality shows where people were like, I don't know, they promised me alcohol. You know, like I got 48 hours to kill until they kick me off. You know, like most people, like they don't seem to have that context for what they're doing. I guess Bachelor is different, but...
Well, I mean, you know what you're saying. Like, you have to be a super fan knowing that you have the potential to be sleeping on a beach and making your own shelter and killing your own food for 40 days.
Right, but I guess I expected it more to be like, I'm a survival expert. I have seen a season of the show, but everybody, yes, mega fans.
Yeah.
Like the toppest tier, like I've watched every single episode. Yep. I know X, Y, and Z. Like it's a sport. It's a sport to these people, and I get that too.
Right.
Because it's like, even as I'm following along, I'm like, yeah, I see their strategy. I like I like what they're doing there.
Right.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, look at those dumb fucks thinking that they're safe. They're not safe. Whatever. But Jeff Probst, all he does is the production team hands him a list of bullet points of everything that they captured, the highlights.
Right.
And the way he turns it to just be like, let's say hypothetically, she called you a bitch. How's that going to affect your relationship? And it cuts to that she called him a bitch behind the camera. Right. It's just like the way he phrases it. It's like they all know that he knows. And the way that he's dishing it back to them, they're just like, oh, yeah, Jeff. I'm going to fuck over everybody tonight. Everybody's getting fucked over tonight. Thanks for asking that question.
Yeah.
It's a great question you asked. It's the funniest thing to have him just be like, I am the master of, nobody could come close to hosting the show the way he does now.
Well, no, I mean, he's done it for 15 years.
He's done it for
maybe over 15 years.
It premiered in 2001. It's on 20 years.
Oh, wow. Okay, it's a 20-year show.
20 fucking year show.
He knows when they're about to break.
Yeah.
How to break them, how to bring them back.
Oprah was a bad comparison. Alex Trebek. It's Alex Trebek.
Alex Trebek would have been sick.
No. I'm just saying, on the level of, people's love and admiration and the cult following of Jeff Probst is matched to me only by Alex Trebek. Alex Trebek could have been like, hey, you should go assassinate a congressman. And people would
do it. I would do it. But yeah, Trebek.
Yeah. I like where your head's at. What is a gun and where do I find one?
Because they're both cunty, but in a good way.
In a way that a lot of reality TV shows that I'll watch, especially the Netflixy ones where they're just trying to get shit off the ground.
Right.
You can just tell that they're a mouthpiece for a prompter where they've been fed too much information.
Right.
And they're kind of acting like they don't know what's going on, and they can't handle that very well.
Right.
Because they know every minute detail. And the truth is most reality TV shows don't even dive into that. They're just like, here is what you're doing today. You are no longer on the show, or you're too drunk. Right. Get the fuck out. But Probst is just like, I know you guys, and also fuck you guys. Yeah. The best is when it's and then they all are just like, yeah, Jeff, fuck us. Nobody ever fights with Jeff Probst.
You can't.
He's God. He's God. But he knows it. And he also just walks around like a humble motherfucker. He never walks around like he's too good or superior or everything. He's just like, here I am. I got my blue button-down short-sleeve shirt.
I got my linen on.
I got my different color hat than the day before.
Yep.
Because I got a million colored hats. And guys, here's what we're going to be doing. You're going to be climbing through a bunch of mud. You're going to be eating a pig carcass, spitting it into each other's mouth, and then filling up a bucket with as much meat as possible. And you're going to be doing that in 30 seconds. Get to it. And they're like, yes, Jeff, let's do it. What?
My thing with those challenges is he explains it and we see the visuals.
Yeah.
Do you ever think he explains a challenge and they go, wait, what?
Yeah.
No one ever asked questions. Someone in the 20 years of this show and other reality shows, someone had to go, wait, what?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
I'm truly having a hard time with this.
Say it again.
Yeah.
I just can't see it.
It's that perfect editing of in every single instance, there's an extra hour and a half of setup before they actually go.
Right.
Where they're just when he's like, all right, I'm going to split you up into teams, then we're going to go. And then it cuts to, they're all ready to go. You could tell that was 20 minutes of being like, all right, man, we're going to figure this out. We're going to do this.
Right.
And then that'll happen. And then I bet there's always a squad of Jeff Probsty looking production crew who were just sprinting in to be like, all right, you got to do this. You got to do that. Just so we're clear.
That I could say.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I am so fascinated on what's going on right before they cut away to something else. Right before they edit it down. It would be so boring, but I would love to get how much do the cameramen and women instigate questions when interviewing them on the beaches?
Right.
How much are they trying to lead them because it's not like
You have to. Also, like, when do you film it? That's another thing I think
Yes.
of. 'Cause,
Yes.
like, they're talking about like the person lost the challenge. Like, they're about to be eliminated from the show.
yes,
So they're recording it knowing they're eliminated now.
yes,
But
yes.
you're talking.
They're
Like, when did you film?
right. It's it's the same. I have the reverse million questions when I watch like Real Housewives or when I watch like Below Deck.
Right.
Because they're speaking in the future.
Right. Yes.
When they speak in the future about what they're like watching as the clip, and
Right.
then they're speaking as if it's currently happening, but in reality it's like 6 months ahead, or it's like after they're done filming they'll bring them
Right.
back in to do these.
Is that what it is?
Well, in quarantine, like you saw like during quarantine, like the Real Housewives were doing it all over Zoom.
Oh, I'm. Yeah.
So it was like literally like they had finished shooting and now they're like, all right. I think a lot of it is they get a rough cut of where they're at, and then they'll just show them a clip like 3 months, 6 months later, and then because you'll notice that most episodes they all have like the same outfits on.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's implied like it's one sitting.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it's not like they come back in and then get all dressed up and then sit down in the same outfit as before. Sometimes they'll do, like, 2 or 3 sessions, but I think it's, like, they do all the filming, then it's, like, 6 weeks, and then they bring them back in, and then they'll show them a clip and be like, you got to speak in the present tense about what you're watching.
Right.
That blows my fucking mind.
Yeah.
What?
Yep. I
How
agree.
much effort gets put into that? And they do a great job with it.
They
but
do a fantastic job.
But it's just so weird because it's like they have so much more context, but they have to pretend like they don't know what's
Right.
happening, even though it happened to them already. What?
And these people, it's not, Leonardo DiCaprio, Keanu Reeves,
Yeah.
who can act, and like these are, for the most part, very dumb.
Yeah. Business savvy, mostly business savvy, if anything.
And that's very few.
Socially, it's a very specific. It's socially the most unaware people in the world. Socially aggressive, socially
Yes.
unaware,
Yes.
socially inept.
Yes.
But they have like a high education. Most of them,
Some of them.
a lot of them are like doctors or like there's
Engineers do well on Survivor.
Yeah. Oh, it's Survivor. I thought we were still talking about Real Housewives. Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, Survivor, that's totally different. Yeah, Survivor, it's you literally fall into 3 categories of like either you're a physical person,
Right.
and all of them kind of have like the mental aspect that it's like the strategy. It's
Right,
like
right.
what's your strategy game like? There's a lot of people who just like show up, they compete, and then they'll hang out around camp, and then and a lot of times they make it to like the final 3 just because
They're
people
physically superior.
yeah. And people know the strategy so well that they're just like, this person's going to make it to the 3. They're not
Right.
going to win.
Right.
They know
they'll
they're
keep them around.
yeah, they know they're not going to win, but they're such a super fan that they just want to be on for another day.
Right.
And that's the brilliance of it is like the way that they kind of nobody walks away truly like butthurt about getting fucked over in the game. Like there's some like the early seasons where like you're like, yeah, that was pretty fucked up what you did, but it's like you're ultimately like, I respect the game. You manipulated the fuck out of me, dude.
And it's tough to surprise people anymore because so many people have done so many
Yeah.
ridiculous backstabbing things.
Yep.
Where now backstabbing is like, it's weird if you don't do it.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of a part of the game now.
Yeah. We were just watching an episode where like in the first time in the show, somebody got a award where they got 2 votes. And I was like, Survivor's brilliant.
Yeah.
You just got to spice it up like with one thing and the game just explodes.
Yep.
And everybody loves it. Like even when they get like royally fucked over in the worst way and they had a mental breakdown and they're crying in the set and they just got voted off, they still just get up with a big smile on their face and they're like, well played, guys.
Right.
It's so weird. It's so weird. Like there was this Yahoo executive. What? There's a Yahoo executive on this episode or this season.
They have time, I'll tell you that much.
It's so
because
funny.
Yahoo not doing great.
It was 2015, so it was like I think Yahoo was like minutes away from imploding on itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had just gotten the last season of Community on their online streaming platform.
Which
Yeah. What? No.
I don't know
Okay.
who that's sadder for, Yahoo or Community.
Both.
Or Joel McHale,
It's
really.
Joel McHale, yeah.
Joel McHale lost.
But it was so funny because like the season that we were just watching was this is a Survivor episode. This is a Survivor.
It is now.
This is what this episode is. It was white collar, blue collar, non-collar.
That was the season?
That's the season.
Oh,
so
that's a good idea.
3 tribes, brilliant. So it was like,
What's no collar?
I had that question a million times, and Char was like, well, it's like people who like have like very non-traditional jobs. And I was like, well, what's an example? And one guy like sold coconuts. It's a coconut salesman.
So a guy who literally doesn't wear a shirt.
Yeah. It's a lot of people who I think one guy was like, he might have been like a preacher or something, like a minister.
That's a white collar. Priest.
I mean, literally, but it's not.
He's the literal white collar.
Yeah. Right, white robe. Right. Yeah, that would be a good. I was saying that the ultimate Survivor game in 2021 would be alt-right versus Antifa.
I thought you were going to say Epstein's Island. I mean, at the end of the day, Jeffrey Epstein did create Survivor. Yeah. The problem is no one got voted off.
Yeah, right.
They're like, when does the season end? And he's like, it doesn't. We just keep doing it.
Yeah, it does not end.
But we are filming in 2 locations, Florida and my island.
It ends when I bleed out in a prison cell. That's when the season ends. Yeah.
No one knows who the winner is.
Yeah, exactly.
Prince Andrew.
Yeah.
Prince Andrew won Survivor.
Yeah. The fact that Meghan Markle's bullying somehow took precedent over.
Oh my God, what a bitch.
I mean, it's the funniest thing in the world that the royal family's like, listen, we're going to get to Prince Andrew. We will. It's just that this complaint about Meghan Markle being a bully, it came in first.
Right.
And we kind of have we have to prioritize as they come in. You know what I mean? Right after we handle this, then we'll deal with Prince Andrew being a prolific pedophile.
Right. We'll get to that later.
Yeah. First things first. Was she a meanie? Was she a meanie to somebody?
Let's get Oprah in to ask.
Yeah.
That's it. No one else can ask. Also, just another thing on the Meghan Markle thing. We'll get back to the Survivor.
We got it.
One thing people are like, because Meghan Markle's like, they were very concerned what the color of our child would be,
right,
and how that would make them look,
right.
And people were like, how could the royal family be racist? I'm like, oh, the people that oversaw slavery.
Yeah.
People that brought slavery to many places.
The people who had chunks of their family be best friends with Nazis. Shook.
People
Truly.
that only had sex with their family to keep the bloodline pure.
Yeah.
You're telling me people that shipped people from Africa to Virginia don't like black people?
Yeah, I think the family who has bloodline as like a key indicator of their identity.
Yes.
And the purity of said bloodline.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm just saying, my jaw's not on the floor.
I think it would have been crazy if she said, yeah, I married Harry and everything was fine.
Yeah, there were no issues.
No one
Everybody
was concerned.
has been a delight.
Yeah.
I think Diana blew it way out of proportion.
Let me tell you something. Harry earmuffs? Diana kind of a bitch.
I think she was being a little dramatic. That's my takeaway.
Diana, learn how to fly a plane.
Yeah. Driving a car?
Was it driving a car?
Yeah, she was in a car accident.
Who died? Yeah, no, it was a car accident. Why did I say she drove a plane?
I'm thinking of Diana like doing a barrel roll and just hitting a mountain. What?
Are you telling me Princess Diana wasn't Amelia Earhart?
Princess Diana's lost in the Bermuda Triangle?
Yeah. She's been alive this whole time.
Oh my God.
It's just her fucking
so
Michael
funny.
Jackson and Steve Jobs on an island.
Yeah, or it's Amelia Earhart and Princess Diana both went out that way, so they're both just sitting on an island. Like, Amelia Earhart was there for years.
Right.
And then another plane crash. She's like, who are you? I'm Princess Diana. And they're like,
Amelia?
Yeah. Are you Amelia Earhart? Yeah. Did you fly into the Bermuda Triangle? Yeah. Why? I don't know. I'm afraid of cars. I don't know. That's insane.
But Survivor, yeah. The craziest thing, the only time, now this is just going to be a reality TV.
Yeah.
I'm a big challenge fan. We can talk about the challenge.
So the challenge to me is, do they get alcohol? Yeah.
Not so, now. I mean, the challenge kind of sucks now. If you want me to be honest,
Right.
They have the old episodes on Hulu or Netflix now. I forgot
Because
which
most
one.
of them are pushing 40.
Well, no, they have younger people in that. It's not.
But like the old.
The old challenge from 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Road Rules challenge.
Yeah.
That's the best television you'll get ever. Because it's combining Jersey Shore with Survivor.
That's actually the problem. That's why I think I know why you like it, and hit it. Just what's like the top line of why? Because they just fight, like the instigation of the fights.
Because they're truly trash people. The problem with cable TV,
it's trash Survivor.
Right. The basic cable, the Survivors, the Big Brothers, the Amazing Races. They're good shows. The concepts are fantastic.
Yeah.
But you don't have trash. Trash is what makes reality TV.
Yes.
That's why TLC is 1,000 Pound Sisters is the best show out right now. Because they're trash and they're all in on it.
Yes. So actually, yeah, I think that's what surprised me so much about. I never watched Big Brother. I think it's just a weird. It seems like a boring show. It seems like it would be. I don't understand the appeal.
It's essentially just Survivor, but only indoors.
But do they do physical challenges?
Not to the level of Survivor. They do, but not to that
they
extent.
vote people out based on what? Just like living with them?
It's the same. It's all social.
Yeah.
It's essentially the same game, but Survivor, you're only outdoors. This, you're only indoors.
Got it. Yeah. Yes, I was shocked that Survivor did not have any trash.
Yeah,
I mean, you'll have like garbage people, but at the core, it's like the casting for Survivor must be totally different than every reality show, because they're not like when you're doing the casting, you're kind of like, how is this trash going to mix with that trash?
Right.
How are we going to instigate a fight between these two? Like that's the other element of like the camera crew following them around. It's the people who sit in the room with a million headshots of people who just showed up and they're like, I want to be on Survivor, or I want to be on any reality show. I don't give a shit.
Right.
And it's just those people who look at a board full of 300 to 1,000 people and go, that one, that one,
Yep.
that one, and that one. Send it. And then they just nail it.
Mm-hmm.
Survivor, they nail casting.
Yep.
Because the last season was Blood and Water, which is where it's like 50-50 split between
women that have their periods in the water and women that have it on land.
Yes. How did you know? No, it's like half of the team is like a normal cast, and then it's their significant other on the other side of the cast.
Oh, that's interesting.
Brilliant. It's a brilliant idea. And then they split. That's how the tribes get split up. Is like your lack of a significant, your other person is on the one side and you're not with them. And then you have to basically build your own thing. And then ultimately they get fused back together after some people have been. It's very spicy. Because it's like you'll be on challenges where like a husband's fighting a wife,
right?
And it's like,
but it's legal.
It's legal.
He hit her, but it's fine.
Jeff Probst said it was okay, so it's okay.
The only person above
Jeff
the
Probst
law,
told me
Jeff
to hit
Probst.
her. Jeff Probst told me to hit her. Yeah, I don't know. There was a great one where it was like a husband and wife do like a physical challenge where it's like they're obstacle course whatever, and the husband wins, and literally Jeff is like, okay, you are safe. She is going home.
Oh shit.
And then there was a bit where I think the first time they did it, the ultimatum was like, they're going to go home unless you want to give up your spot in the game for them.
Interesting.
It's just like,
brilliant.
Jeff, you son of a bitch.
But does Jeff come up with that?
No. I'm also curious about that.
Yeah, how much of a say do these hosts have
so
on the shows?
I'm sure you don't know about this guy, Russell. Russell was around for seasons.
He did a few seasons.
He did a few seasons.
Yeah.
Then his nephew came on.
My parents are going to fucking call me after they listen to
your
this.
Your parents are going to fucking love this episode.
Their episode.
This is their episode. Brandon something. He gets on. This dude is just a dipshit. just the dippiest shit that has ever been. Trash is not the correct word. He's just an idiot.
Okay.
Who is probably bipolar. He's probably
all right. That's good.
Yeah,
I like what you're telling me.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But his whole thing is he's struggling to be a good Christian.
Oh my
That's
God.
the hitter. That's where it hurts. Because he's constantly going around. He's got Mike Pence energy where, like, he was walking around women in the camp and being like, I don't like her. I don't like the energy that she gives off. I'm a good Christian man. I can't be in the same room
So he's a
without my wife.
closeted homosexual.
Probably. Basically. He's like, I have a wife. I just can't be in the same room with another one, another room. Room implying the entire island.
There are no rooms.
Yeah.
This is Survivor.
Yeah. You mean the hut? The hut with no walls?
Yeah.
Okay.
The leaves?
Yeah, the leaves? Yeah, I can't be in the same leaf compound as a woman.
That's a little Muslim.
Yeah. And so he comes back for a second season. He gets voted out. He sort of makes there's a weird thing where there's a Christian alliance formed in his thing.
I'm out.
I know. I hated every second of it because it was like Coach was on. He's another.
Yeah.
It's the whole thing became like, we're good Christian men. Okay, we're gonna stick to our morals.
But that's how you get the Midwest to keep watching.
Bingo. That was a big hit for that.
Right.
I'm sure they loved it. But what ended up happening is Coach was like, I am the most morally justified guy. I am a good Christian man. And then he just lies and manipulates his way out to the point where everybody's like, hey man, are you sure you're being a good Christian right now? And he's like, oh, I definitely got lost in the game. And it's like, all right, so you're just a piece of shit.
And then he went on to become governor of New York.
Yes.
Yes. That's, I think you know the story there.
Yes, Coach Cuomo. But
quick story.
Yeah, but anyway, so Brandon. So this is tying back to Jeff riffing. Times where Jeff riffs is the best in the world because Brandon, second season comes back, literally loses his goddamn mind. 2 weeks in,
He lost Jesus.
He lost Jesus. Or Jesus was like, I'm good. We don't got to do this. He basically gets into a fight with everybody, loses all trust in everybody. Everybody hates this guy. And then he's like, all right, well, screw this game. I'm done with this. Fuck you guys. Fuck everything. And then he just goes around, takes their rice.
Rice is Bitcoin.
It's Bitcoin.
The Survivor world.
And the beans are ether. It's his whole. He took the whole blockchain and just dumped it on the fucking ground.
Oh my God.
And everybody's like, Brandon, what are you doing? And he's like, nah, screw you guys. You guys have to pick beans up out of the dirt. Screw this, screw that. And literally they show up to the challenge and Brandon's like, no, fuck you guys. And Jeff's like, so nobody likes this guy, right? And they're like, nah, we really don't. And he's like, all right, here's what I'm going to do. We're gonna do a voting right now
at the campsite
in the middle of the obstacle course in broad daylight.
Probst doesn't give a fuck.
And literally, they're like, "Who here wants to vote out Brandon right now?" And everybody raises their hand, and he's like, "Okay." He's like, 9th person voted out, Brandon. And he's like, no torch.
But he had no torch. He can't. Why did he take the fire out?
He didn't get it. He was just literally, he was holding on to Brandon, just be like, you can't go anywhere. He's like, you're out.
But I think Survivor bylaws state that you remain in until the fire is extinguished.
In the Survivor Constitution, it clearly states.
In Are You the One? You can't get your perfect match unless you scan your hand on the iPad. I mean, these are what do we have but rules?
It's total anarchy in Survivor after that. No, surprisingly, law and order was maintained. Thankfully, there were no riots.
No coups?
Yeah, no coups, no riots in the streets, no Brandon Anons formed from there. And literally, everybody was just like, great. And just like, all right, we're not going to do this today. Fuck this obstacle course. Take it easy. And I'm like, Probst, you got to think the camera shut off and everybody was like, well done, Jeff. This was beautiful television. You went off script. You fucking
good for him.
Nailed it. It's the best because he must have that chess brain. He's got
Well, he's also been doing it for so long. He needs to be entertained.
Exactly.
Right.
There started being bits where the show pivots away from because a lot of the early seasons, even halfway through, was about actual survival.
Yes.
Where it became they threw him into like rainy seasons.
Oh yeah, they're in like the Brazilian rainforest.
Yeah, and there's a season where like a guy almost dies because he's pushing it way too hard during the rainy season, and he just like can't function from exhaustion.
right.
And then they're just like, people were so wet and rainy that like morale was just gone.
Right.
No food. It was just like weird. It's kind of like, I think we're losing the point of the show a little bit. It's kind of like suffering porn.
Right.
And now the show's more like, it's closer to the challenge without alcohol, where it's like, clearly people are going to be dry and safe, or maybe it's going to rain a little bit, but it's not, nobody's worried about starving to death. And there were people who ran out of food and like from their bag of beans and their rice. And Jeff just showed up and he was like, all right, I got food for you, but I'm going to have to take everything in this camp. And like, so they took like tarps, pots, pans, knives, everything. And he's like, it's your choice. Do you want food or do you want to be comfortable? And they're like, pack it up. And he literally, it was the funniest visual.
The U-Haul backed up?
It's the funniest visual in the world because they had a hammock from the Comfort. So he literally takes the hammock and just folds up all of their things and then starts dragging away all their Comfort. Probst.
All right, at least he did it himself.
The last, like, the cutaway shot is Probst walking down the beach, dragging this hammock of all their shit. And I'm just like, that's just good television. Right. The host showing up, taking everything you fucking love, and then all you get is a bag of beans. And you're excited, and you fucking love it. The show is incredible. I love it. Oh, my God.
You got to get into the challenge. It's losing its steam, I will say.
Yeah.
Watch the early stuff. Like, the host is TJ Lavin, the GOAT. He's fantastic host.
Was he on Road Rules or Real World?
He was a BMX guy for a while.
Oh, he's not right. I always thought, for some reason, I thought he was a competitor who then became a host when the guy dropped out.
He might. I don't think so. I think he was always a BMX guy, and then with MTV and the X Games, and I think he just kind of fell into it that way.
Yeah. MTV, X Games,
that whole culture. Late '90s,
via
early
Mountain
2000s.
Dew. Yeah, via Mountain Dew somehow.
Mountain Dew and Doritos kind of formed X Games and MTV. People don't talk about that. And his whole thing is he hates quitters. Oh. Do not quit around TJ. He'll just call you a pussy. I'm pretty sure he's called people. He's like, are you fucking serious? But the show's starting to lose steam because this year there was a contestant, forgot his name. He was like, I'm mentally just not here.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to leave because I want to be with my wife and I just don't want to put the effort in.
Yeah.
And I'm over it.
Yeah.
And TJ said, well, okay. And I was like, I was on my couch like, call this guy a this is weird that you're not doing that.
Yeah.
Why are you letting this guy go?
Spit near him. Spit on his name.
Kick him or something.
Yeah,
I don't know. If you don't want to call him anything, physically abuse the guy or something. I don't know. Lolo Jones was on this season. Do you know Lolo Jones?
No.
She's an Olympian.
Oh.
She was a famous. She is a virgin. She's 38, but she did the Summer Olympics and the Winter Olympics. She was a sprinter in the summer, bobsledder in the winter.
Weird that you just softballed that she's a virgin.
That was her whole thing. She's a virgin and she's not going to have sex until she gets a gold medal, something like that.
Did she have like weird like Christian energy?
Yeah. And the thing is, she was losing all these competitions, these physical competitions. She's supposed to be this Olympian.
Yes.
So she just snapped last episode, and she's like, you know what? I have better things to do. I have an Olympics to train for. I don't have to be here. And then she just left, and TJ didn't bring that up either. Like, what the fuck, Tej? If you're not, yell at her.
Yeah.
The challenge is harder than the Olympics. Also, we're in a pandemic. There's no Olympics to train for.
That's my favorite thing is like when Olympians will be on Survivor, and a lot of them perform poorly. A lot of them end up because they only know one specific thing. There was a race that an Olympian lost because they were like, yeah, I'm not trained to run up and down inclines of like a mountain trail. I run a short distance really fast. Yeah. What do you want from me?
I climb a pole over a thing.
Yeah.
Is there any pole vaulting we're going to do here?
My favorite, oh my God, the best Jeff Probst is when somebody has been injured, but they're right on the cusp. So there's like the people who get injured and like the medical will show up and they'll be like, you're done. I see your bone. You can no longer be in this,
Yes.
and none of them come back, right? The whole thing is, if you get left by medical, you're out of the game. You will never come back, right? There are some instances where people are right on the line, where it's medical is like, I would advise that they leave, but if they want to stay, sure. I mean, a medical professional is saying don't.
Right.
But
they don't care.
Yeah, but there's still, you could get up and go.
Right.
Yeah, and Jeff will literally like get them into that sort of verbiage to be like, where are they at? What can we do here? Can they walk away? Can they get back into this game? And then Jeff, the brilliant television man, turns to the person who's like half alive and is like, what do you want to do? Do you want to walk away from $1
like
million?
guilt them?
Yeah, it's just like, is this the moment that you give up on 39 days out in Survivor?
It's like, I lost a finger, Jeff.
they're like, Jeff, I can't see right now.
They're not even facing Jeff. They're just like, wait, where are you?
It's the best thing in the world because for Jeff, he's like, listen, my heart goes out for you. I totally understand where you're at. Do you want to give up on this dream or what's going on?
It's $1 million.
It is a $1 million decision that you're making right here to walk away from this. I'm like, Jeff, you fuck. I love it. I love it so much because they're just, for a second, they're like, they literally are thinking about risking their lives for this game.
Right.
You see it cross their brain and you're just like, dog. I mean, this is a perfect example of why I would never go on to the show, just to be like, I'd cut my finger a little bit and be like, I think I got to bail.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
They tell you, okay, jump out of the boat and swim to shore. You'd be like, ooh.
Yeah.
I'm not. Eliminate me now.
Yeah.
I didn't know we were swimming.
There's no boogie board that I can like kind of kick and ride the tide. This is a problem. This is a problem.
I can't swim. Also,
did I not tell you that? Did I tell you that I couldn't swim? Oh man, yeah. Goddamn. I was trying to think of like what would my angle be if I was on it. Again, the truth of the matter is like when you say I could be on Survivor, it's not like implying like you got to be like a beefy fucking like.
It's usually the opposite. Successful.
Yeah, there's like a scrawny like Harvard guy who won one season, but he was like his first time on. He was literally like bag of bones.
Puzzles.
That
guy's probably a puzzle guy.
Yep. And it's just like I'm saying I could walk on like this and compete. I'm not saying,
no, there's no stopping you.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like it's not a thing of like, oh, I could do it. It's like, no. If they were like, do you want to do Survivor and try to sit out there for 39 days?
Yeah, you and Sean want to do these fucking juice cleanses?
Yeah.
Why don't you do Survivor for 40 days?
Yeah.
Come back.
Yeah, our skin's going to be clean.
Glowing.
Yeah, and dirty.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, also that.
Yeah,
and malnourished.
Disgusting,
and,
malnourished. Yeah, we're going to be eating rice and beans for 30 days. Fuck, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would just play the social game of just like, I'd be the guy who just walks in and just like makes a joke about everything the whole time and just being like the least threatening person. That would be it. That would be my angle of just being like, listen, I'm going to try my best. I'm not very good at challenges, but I am a lot of fun. Hey, keep me around. Take me to the top. I want to be in the live show where I show up there and I gain some of the weight back and I look good in a suit. Clearly about to lose, but I'm happy to be there. Yeah, that's my goal. I would love to do that with Survivor.
They got to start introducing, but this is also coming from me, who's just someone that just wants to watch people get fucked up and physically do challenges. I want to watch people drunk swing from ropes over oceans.
Try to do Survivor drunk.
That's all it's an easy sell for me.
Yeah. So sober versus not.
Ooh,
that's
not a bad idea.
That'd be a rough one. Yeah. I think sober versus not. QAnon versus Antifa. That to me that's my favorite. That nothing is funnier than and then the whole bit would be that the Antifa side is actually just also QAnon.
Yeah, everyone. They merge and they find out that they're the same people.
Yeah, they're all. I just said I was Antifa. I don't know. I thought it would.
They were all hired to be there.
Yeah, they were all. Everybody's hired to be there. Yeah, exactly. Nothing would be funnier than left versus right. That's great. And then I feel like there's another one.
Say it. Black's first wife. I knew that's where you were going.
No. I think kids would be fun.
No, they had that show,
Survivor
Kid
Kids.
Nation, remember?
Oh, it was basically Survivor for kids.
Oh my god, I was fascinated with Kid
Jeff?
Nation.
Was it Jeff Probst as well?
And no, unfortunately, it wasn't. They took kids that were like 11 to 13 years old. There was like 20 kids, threw them in an old western abandoned town, and they were like, "Okay, you run the town."
You're the sheriff of these parts.
There was a kid who was a sheriff. There was a kid who was the mayor. There was a kid who was
the town drunk. Was there a town drunk?
There was a town drunk. They provide, like I said, I only watch shows where they get fucked up. So they provided the children
apple juice. It's
something else.
Oh, yeah.
I think they were going to do a season 2, but then the government was like, "Yeah, this is kind of like child endangerment." So no.
Yeah, let's put them on bake shows where they have where they have mental breakdowns in front of Gordon Ramsay. That's gonna be much better. It's gonna be way better for them.
The government wasn't anti-Kid Nation; they're just pro Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah, Gordon Ramsay was like, "Listen, let's see how they bake a cake."
I do love Hell's Kitchen. That was one of my favorites.
Hell's Kitchen, I think that would be one. I never really watched it. I watched the highlights.
Get into Hell's Kitchen.
It's like Bar Rescue or like. Well, no.
Bar Rescue's good.
We did watch a lot. Sorry, I'm confusing. Is Hell's Kitchen the one where it's the game show version, or is Hell's Kitchen where he shows up to other restaurants?
No, that's Kitchen Nightmares.
But it is Gordon Ramsay.
Both are Gordon Ramsay. Hell's Kitchen is where they're competing, and the winner.
Kitchen Nightmares is where he's avoiding salmonella every episode.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yes, the Hell's Kitchen. That one was. It was hard because I only watched like the highlights where he's like saying, "What are you? I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot sandwich."
Yeah.
It's like those bits. I'm like, all right, this is great. I love this. I don't necessarily think I need much more context around that. Just give me more clips of him screaming at people. It's like I thought that was the show.
You gotta. It's just him calling people cunts for 12 weeks.
Yeah, I do love that. Gordon Ramsay is somebody who like he's a bit like Jeff Probst, where it's like he is a piece of shit. He's just he's an asshole who everybody just loves.
It's tough love because he does it because he loves you.
Yeah,
but it's tough to digest.
And I think that's what it is. Is like I think the level of assholiness that you can be as a host on reality is directly correlated to how excited the guests are to be there.
Yes, because
if everybody's like, "Hey, Jeff, why don't you dial it back a little bit? You're being a little harsh." I think everybody would be like, "All right, Jeff is like the anchor of the show, and if if he's unlikable, this show's not gonna last."
Right.
Yeah. Thankfully, he's very likable.
Very likable, more likable than Seacrest. He's the only other more tenured host, I think.
Yeah, but Seacrest hasn't done TV in a long time.
He does it every day.
TV?
Live with Kelly and Ryan. And he does American Idol.
Does he still do American Idol?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I'm way out on Secret. I just know him for his very lazily put together radio show, which is just like...
Oh, yeah.
It's honestly, I'll turn that on sometimes where he'll be like, "So, I was looking at this TikTok the other day. Can you believe this? Can you believe this TikTok? And you're not going to believe who was on it. Reese Witherspoon, who's going to be on Wednesday."
Yeah.
And it's just like, dog.
It's so commercialized.
He's
a walking commercial.
He is a walking commercial.
And he created the Kardashians. People don't talk about that.
Really?
Yeah. He's the one who made them.
Is he the EP?
Yeah.
Dog.
Yeah.
Man.
People don't talk about that.
That is.
Lil Wayne found Drake and Ryan Seacrest found the Kardashians.
I mean, Seacrest. He's the. What was it? Knocked Up has a great bit. Where Seacrest like breaks character.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as soon as the character. I love that. That nothing is funnier than Seacrest pretending like he's a real ass, like a super big asshole. As soon as that's the Seacrest I want to hang out with.
Former client of mine, Seacrest.
Yeah,
when I worked at the gym.
Lazy man. Good.
No, nice. I didn't have that many interactions with him, but all the trainers said extremely nice. His girlfriend, though, apparently real big bitch, and also apparently a beard. That's
not
also he listed himself as 5'10". Come on, bud.
Was he?
He's
like
got to
5'7"?
be. Yeah, 5'7", 5'8". Just a short gay guy. Which is fine.
Yeah, you heard it here first, folks.
And it all comes back
Yeah.
to Greenspan.
Yeah, this is when the Happy Hour pops off. Is for the big reveal of Ryan Seacrest.
I don't know. First, Emma, my girlfriend, was like, "What are you going to talk about this week?" And I'm like, "It doesn't matter. You just start talking, and whatever happens. Do you think I wanted to talk about Survivor for an hour? No. But we did.
Yeah.
What do you want me to do?
We nailed it. Yeah.
I'm fine with it. I thought this was a good episode. It's better than I thought.
Yeah. I mean, listen. I don't think I'll try to bring the same Survivor energy back next week. I'll just recap another 6 years of the show that I watch in a week.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine with me. All right, team. So thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, right.
Adios.
Mate.